then we all know what Bharat is. I'm talking of an epic written 5,500 years back. In its classic beauty.
நிகழ்ச்சி ஒன்றில் கலந்து கொண்ட பாஜக முன்னாள் மாநில தலைவர் அண்ணாமலை ஆங்கிலத்தில் உரையாற்றி உள்ளது வரவேற்பினை பெற்றுள்ளது.
In its classic form, Mahabharata is more than 1,00,000 verses. But if I take only the Jaya part of Mahabharata, which is about 8,800 verses, what many people mistakenly call Mahabharata, the battlefield where Sanjaya was trying to describe to King Dhritarashtra what is happening. If I take only that 8,800 verse, even in that 8,800 verse, if I take only the Bhishma Parva, if I take only that, even in that Bhishma Parva, if I take only from chapter 6 to chapter 13, even in that, I take only from verse 6 of chapter 6 to verse 37 of chapter 13, then we all know what Bharat is. I'm talking of an epic written 5,500 years back. In its classic beauty, which describes Bharat, where Sanjaya keeps describing, because he had this divine vision that was gifted to him. He says this is a land. It describes the north and south. It describes the ocean. He goes in detail because he has to describe it from chapter 6 to chapter 16. He has to go for 10 chapters. He describes very deeply. This is a land which has got 220 kingdoms. And he mentions the name of the kingdoms, the kings. The Swamiji was mentioning, Sannidhanam Swamiji was mentioning about Kalinga. He mentions everything. Not only that, he goes one step further. He also mentions 80 mountain ranges, which is present across Bharat. Sanjaya goes again very deep into it. He mentions the 30 big lakes. He mentions the 30 big forests. He doesn't stop there. He goes still further. He mentions all the 300 pilgrim sites that we have. We are talking of an epic which is 5,500 years back in absolute pristine detail. From a lake to a mountain to a pilgrim center to the border, it fixes everything. Sanjaya in his divine version keeps talking. And for anybody in our country who is questioning whether Bharat as an entity is whole, or there is an artificial divide between north and south, east and west, or northeast, are we culturally the same, or genetically are we different? I only tell them, even the blind king was able to understand from Sanjaya what he was describing. Now a lot of politicians, even with their eyes on, they just have to understand this was always a classic Bharat and it will continue to be a Bharat. We might have minor differences in terms of our speaking ability or a language or the food habit or the custom, but this is Bharata Varsha, the Bharata Kante.
செய்திகளை உள்ளது உள்ளபடி தெரிந்து கொள்ள ரெஃப்ளெக்ட் நியூஸை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க.